Again from the Phyllis Schlafly Center. This is Ryan Haidt and Jordan Henry. We are coming to you again for a regular Thursday live video where we're going to hit the topics for the week. We're going to talk about a few things that matter, maybe a few things that don't along the way. You never know. We just like to have fun with it. But as I've said before, we have a lot of great conversations here in the center, behind closed doors, in the hallways. And as much as you all see what we put out on social media, through our email lists on the website, we thought it'd be a fun idea to let everyone in on the discussions that we're having. People who work in politics and do this day in and day out. There's a lot of things to consider. I know a ton of the country just had municipal elections, school board, small taxes, things that are kind of off of our radar all the time as just normal American citizens. So getting down into those kinds of things is the type of thing we'd like to get to, although today our topic is a little bit broader than that. Before we dive in, let me say, first of all, wherever it is you're watching, if it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, please like this video, hit the retweet button, share it, whatever it is, and then hit the subscribe. If you're on YouTube, make sure with subscribe you hit that little bell so that you get notified when our videos come out. Of course, big tech doesn't like us, but then again, that may be changing. That's why we're here today to talk about that. Elon Musk, the man, the Musk, the legend. Is he going to save Twitter or not? He spent billions of dollars. Jordan, what do you say?
Okay, well, first of all, if you don't care one way or another about Elon Musk, at the very least, leave us a comment and let us know what you think about what Ryan is wearing today for opening day of Cardinals baseball season.
Go Cardinals. Opening day for all of our MLB fans. I forgot to recognize off the bat. Congratulations to all of us for hopefully another normal season now that the pandemic is all done with. We can have baseball again. So
okay, so but
go
all that to say, I am not convinced that Elon Musk is going to save Twitter and end the reign of big tech and all of that sort of thing. Now, I don't know. I can't say for sure. If you had asked me this question before Donald Trump was the Republican nominee, then I probably would have said offhand, I don't trust him one bit. Elon Musk, bad idea, all that sort of thing. But, you know, Donald Trump opened a lot of people's minds to the possibility that someone who doesn't have a background in politics can do great things for America. So I want to preface all that I'm going to say by saying I honestly don't know. It could go one way or the other, and I would not be surprised either way. However, I am not willing to say that I think that Elon Musk is going to save Twitter. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'll qualify my statements significantly less than you did. No, I think that Elon Musk is going to save Twitter. And the reason that I think that's going to happen is actually you started to make my point for me. When this news first came up, my first reaction to it with folks who were saying, hey, what do you think about this? I said, you know, I don't agree with Elon Musk on a lot of issues. Obviously, he and I don't lead the same personal lives or maybe have all the same values, but our battle in America has become a lot different than just one set of values versus another as far as the traditional liberal, the traditional conservative, the right wing and the left wing. We've really moved into an era where the battle is now between authoritarianism and liberty, between the statists and the federalists, I should say the limited government forces. I'll clarify because these phrases are lost in America today. It feels like we're trying to bring them back, though. Federalism and the Federalist Papers, something everyone should read. Go and do it now if you can. But
well, don't do it now.
Don't do it
after
don't do it right now. But before they're gone, before they're banned, like Twitter wants to. Yeah. But that being said, we find a lot more people like the Donald Trumps, like the Elon Musks of the world, who are standing up and looking at this authoritarianism, this big government statism, where the state is becoming the religion, the religious focus of so many people, saying, hold on. What you're doing is just absolutely outrageous and not allowable. It's purely un-American. And they're stepping in and becoming what I would call big tent allies. They're not necessarily the friend of my, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't really hold with that in politics. The enemy of my enemy is my ally. But we don't necessarily have to be friends. We don't have to have the exact same common values. But you're my ally in this battle because, just like Donald Trump saw the horrendous results of progressivism and progressive policy, so they call progressive. Elon Musk looks at the freedom of the internet and how it's being squelched by the censorship and propaganda of one political side. I truly think that he's going to come in and clean house, quite possibly, and I look forward to it. I think he gets into Twitter, throws a monkey wrench in the system, gets a few people fired. I think that if you're going to spend $3.2 billion, you're prepared to make a statement.
Well, yes, I'm sure he's prepared to make statements. He loves making statements. But
and Twitter polls.
Remember, this is the same guy who thought that it was worthwhile to put on Twitter challenging Vladimir Putin to a duel. So I'm not saying that was necessarily bad. I think it's kind of funny. I'm glad he did it. It's really funny. But it seems to me like he's more the world's richest troll than he is somebody who is going to, actually stand in the gap and do something about it. And that's not to say that he won't try to, make some certain limited reforms.
Now let's be clear though. What we're discussing is if he's going to save Twitter and free speech. That doesn't involve taking a side. That involves ensuring an open marketplace. So the open marketplace for the satirists, his friends at the Babylon Bee, newfound friends, and our favorite people. Seth, if you're watching, please retweet this.
Yes.
We'll tag you in the comments. But he is, I think, going to ensure an open marketplace, whether he agrees with it or not, whether he's being outrageous or he wants others to be outrageous or serious. The point is the platform is essentially a modern utility, the modern public square. And I think I've heard him use that phrase, maybe not, but I know a lot of others have said the same thing. And to him, he can use it to be outrageous and funny. He can use it to be whatever he wants. Others are going to use it for more serious matters. But the point is, this is for everyone and not for anyone to be removed from because we don't agree with you. And I think that authentically, I believe from his statements and from whether the outrageous memes he posts or the serious things, I think that he would authentically protect that. Even if he doesn't agree with people, he thinks it should be allowed to be said. And he's the chief example of that, I'd say. He says what he wants, and he likes being able to.
Yeah, I'm sure that, of course, we know that he personally does, but he is going to have an incredible uphill battle if he actually wants to open Twitter back up again. He does control 9.2% of Twitter, but there are so many people, I'm sure, on the board, although I don't know, but obviously so many employees at Twitter. The company culture there is overwhelmingly in support of restrictions. So for him to go in there with 9.2% control and to completely upend it like that is going to take a level of dedication that I'm not convinced Elon Musk has.
Well, it's a good thing he's not a business owner or anything and knows how to clean house.
Well, a business owner that his company has been consistently given a 100% ranking by the Human Rights Coalition campaign. I forget the name of it, for LGBT inclusiveness in the workplace. And obviously, we don't need to be mean to certain people in order to qualify as free speech advocates. But the number one reason it seems like people are getting thrown into Twitter jail right now is because they refuse to toe the line on LGBT ideology.
Yeah.
And yet he himself publicly states that he is in total support of transgender people and all the rest of that. So is he really going to go the distance with 9.2% in order to open it up for people with whom he has such an incredibly great disparity of opinion on with regards to LGBT issues? Again, I'm not convinced.
It's true, and I'm certainly, I don't know the future either. I would say though, there's certainly a case to be made for even if you believe something, there's still a marketplace for people to publicly have a different viewpoint than you without being silenced, even if you think that they're wrong. They should be allowed to be wrong out loud. And I think that particularly with the long-form interview, which I'd encourage everyone to watch, the long-form interview he did with the folks over at the Babylon Bee, it was kind of interesting to hear his perspective because he did manage to make the differentiation between what I think and what other people think and how we should be allowed to have that conversation without getting shut down. Now, there's obviously a line where you can't harm someone physically, violate their rights, but we believe that. But there's a lot of leeway there, and that's really the biggest thing I think we've lost, is that if someone doesn't agree with you, most folks in society, it seems like anymore, especially online, don't know how to handle that. You either have to agree with me, or well, it results in screeching and screaming and censoring and whatever it is. And I do not get that vibe from him. I really think that he would be capable of coming in and throwing his weight around, which is a lot more than just 9.2%. If we're talking about public name ID, this is not a conservative figure, not a political figure. This is like a celebrity who's coming in. I see some real possibilities. I'm excited about the future of Twitter with Elon on the board. Yeah. And I hope that they live stream the next board meeting. I really do. That would be great.
Oh, that would be amazing.
We could multi-stream it here.
Amazing. Oh, that would be great. I will ask you one question that I hope will serve as the measure of who ended up being right on this issue. I want to get your take on whether this is a good measure of it. Can we say that Elon Musk saved Twitter if Donald Trump is not allowed back on? Twitter has come out with a statement saying that they, at least as of right now, have no plans of letting Donald Trump back on Twitter. Would you be willing to concede if Elon Musk doesn't get Trump back on, he has not saved Twitter?
Can I answer your question with a question?
Sure.
Does Trump want back on Twitter, or is it a bigger statement to be off?
That is a really good question. I honestly don't have an answer for that.
If I were him and they offered it to me, I almost might say thanks, but no thanks, I'm fine, and move on. I don't know. It's possible. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know if I think that is a do or die qualification for his success in this. I would certainly love to see that again during the next board meeting that's being live streamed. If they would announce the complete reversal of that, and then at that moment, Elon literally escorts everyone out of the building, that would be fantastic. But I don't know. If that doesn't happen, I'm not sure, because I think there are other factors in that. That would be an interesting bellwether to watch, though.
Definitely. All right. Well, folks, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for those of you that are watching live, for those of you that are watching later. We appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video. If you have thoughts on this, please leave us a comment, because I know there are a lot of people who are very divided on this. So leave a comment. Like it so that other people can see it. Share it with your friends so that we can get more people's opinion on this. Be sure that you're subscribing to our channels to make sure that you don't miss these videos whenever they come out. So thanks again so much, Elon. We hope that you will save Twitter and save discourse in America for sure. But for now, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep writing, and we are going to keep sharing with you our thoughts here at Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. So be sure to come back again next Thursday as we have another exciting discussion. Like, share, subscribe, everybody, and we'll see